I always believed of what Mandela said. He always said everything seems to be impossible until someone does it. The first rule of success is to have a vision. You see, if you don't have a vision of where you go, and if you don't have a goal where you go, you drift around and you never end up anywhere. It's like you can have the best ship in the world, you can have the best airplane in the world. If the pilot or the captain doesn't know where to go, it would just drift around. It would not end up anywhere, or most likely in the wrong place. So I was very fortunate that I stumbled onto my vision. My father wanted me to become a police officer like he was. My mother wanted me just to stay there and marry a girl and have a bunch of kids. But that was their vision, not mine. My vision was totally different. I felt that I was born for something special, for something unique, for something big. So I was searching. Do you know how great it felt that I knew where I was going? Imagine the majority of people don't know where they're going. I was so relieved, because when you have a goal, when you have a vision, everything becomes easy. 74% hate their job in America. Now, this is not much different when you come to Europe. The majority of people don't like what they're doing, because they're really not doing it because they didn't have a goal and they followed this goal. They just aimlessly drift around, and then all of a sudden there's a job opening, so they get that job because you have to work. But then when you work, it's a chore. It's work. It's not fun. So if you think about, only a quarter of the people really enjoy what they're doing in life. That is unbelievable if you think about it. So I felt so blessed that I knew what I was doing. It's like a medical student that studies and knows he wants to become a doctor. You know where to go. So I knew where to go. So people always ask me, when they saw me in the gym in the pumping iron days, they said, why is it that you're working out so hard? 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, and you have always a smile on your face. The others are working out just as hard as you do, and they look sour in the face. Why is that? And I told people all the time, I said, because to me, I'm shooting for a goal. In front of me is the Mr. Universe title. So every rep that I do gets me closer to accomplishing that goal, to make this goal, this vision turn into reality. Every single set that I do. And you also have to have the ability to ignore the naysayers, because inevitably, every single thing that I've done in my life, people always said to me, that's impossible. But when I wanted to be a bodybuilding champion, and I was 15 years old in Austria, they said, you're crazy. And when I said I wanted to go to America, they thought that was crazy, and it would never happen. I don't have the money and all those things. And then when I wanted to get into to the movies and be a leading man, they also said that I'm crazy. It would never happen. They said, you have an accent, and of course your body is overdeveloped. I mean, you weigh 250 pounds. But I always believed of what Mandela said. He always said everything seems to be impossible until someone does it. And so I felt like, well, I can be the one that does groundbreaking things and do the impossible and make it possible. And so that's exactly what I've done all my life.
The other thing that's important is that you got to shoot for the top. You got to go and really have big goals and think big, because then you're going to get big. Then you're going to go and achieve big things. That is the most important thing. You don't achieve big things by accident. So shoot for the top, shoot for the sky, shoot for the, for the stars. The other thing is that you got to work your butt off. If you think that you're going to go and accomplish something really special, be the best in anything in the world, and you think you can do it without working, you make a big mistake. Because no matter what I did, if it was in bodybuilding or in acting or if it was in the political arena, it always took a lot of work. And you got to put out, and you got to, something like a lot of sacrifices. Notice, if you're not willing to work hard, forget about it. So this is another rule that is very important. I think another one is just don't be afraid to fail. Because if you're afraid to fail, then you're always holding yourself back because you're afraid that if you go all out, you may fail. Well, in weightlifting, we learned that very quickly. The only way you could break a record is if you're willing to fail. That's when you put on more weight. You try it. Sometimes you will not be able to lift it, which has happened to me many times. But eventually, when you train hard enough, you will lift it. So don't be afraid to fail. I mean, how far can you fall?